Hey bookworms, I'm BookMouse, and this is Mouse's House. This video is going to be my wrap-up of all the books that I read in the month of October. I know I'm a little late getting started on it, but life is busy, work, school, kids, life. I am just going to real quick run over the books that I read outside of our BookNook books that we read every week. I actually read pretty quickly and usually have more than one book going at a time, so I tend to read a little bit more than BookKitty, but I just wanted to give a little shout out to these books real quick and share them with you. So I do have some favorite authors that I tend to come back to and pick up whatever they've written that's just come out, depending on what kind of series they're writing or whatnot. One of my favorite all-time authors is going to be Mercedes Lackey. She has several series, different independent series that she writes. And so I found this on the shelf at a discount store and just had to have it. This is Beauty and the Werewolf. It is a Tales of the 500 Kingdoms. So this is a series that she writes. I loved it. I'm going to be honest, I absolutely loved it. I mean, you've got wise grannies, werewolves, stepmoms and stepdaughters, nobles, magic, an insidious, unconscious presence influencing people's lives. You have a lot of things in here. Some of the things I didn't see coming, some of the things I did, but I liked it. I really would recommend this. It's a good story, and it's about a powerful female character who is not going to just sit down and take life in the teeth. She is going to fight for what she wants. And I liked that. I really did. The next book I read, okay, so Christine Feehan writes several different book series. I fell in love with her Carpathian series at its beginning and read a lot of her Carpathian series, and then she wrote a Shadow Riders series. This, I believe, is book 3 or 4. And book 1 I kind of liked. Book 2 I kind of liked. I'm kind of about this one. It's slightly paranormal. I guess you would call it paranormal. It is a romance, but there's, a lot of action. There's a lot of, fighting and guns and blood and guts, but there's also the romancing of, Vittorio and his woman. I think it was a little bit too over the top for me. The whole big, powerful, rich man taking care of his woman kind of thing. It irritated me a little bit. So I will admit that I'm probably going to give this one up to the library or to the free library book exchange boxes that are around town. It's not a bad series. It's an interesting twist on their abilities. But I think this one is not for me. So I'm not going to keep this one in the bookshelf. Last book I read in October on my own time, as mentioned, I was a Mercedes Lackey fan. I went back to Valdemar. This is actually a 3-in-1. It is all 3 of the Vaniel stories in one big compilation, and I read the whole freaking thing, and I loved it. I'm already biased. I love the Valdemar books. I thought they were wonderful. The majority of the books are set in Valdemar's present. The same characters are in all of Talia's story, all of Elspeth's story, all of Ankar's story. This is technically a prequel. This is the story of Vaniel, who is mentioned in historical capacity in the other books. He's such a major portion of the world's magic and the development of Valdemar into what it became, that she went back and wrote basically the origins of the last Herald Mage, how he came to be, what his life was like, and what happens to him. I utterly recommend this book. I unashamedly endorse Mercedes Lackey. I love these books. And I thought it was very well done, and if you think about it, one of the things Vaniel struggles with, and it's a major theme in the book, is that he is Sheachern, which is a term they use in the book. It's from one of the peoples that he gets to know, which basically means that Vaniel is gay. He doesn't know it at the beginning. It's his awakening, his learning, his choosing, and how he works his life around it. That was written in a time period that it was not common for authors to write about gay characters. Oh, 1989. So the book was written in 89. So you know it was written in a rough time period for that particular group of people. So to have a main character that was strong and had his ups, had his downs, had his strengths, had his weaknesses, and still managed to overcome, that's a big thing. So kudos to her, to Mercedes Lackey for being out there and supporting everybody, making characters that are believable. Even if they can level an entire city with their thought. So those are the basically 5 books that I got through for October. I have no idea what I'm going to read in November on my own. I have a pile that I recently had a friend give me that I'm waffling on about which one to start with, but we will keep you posted with my November wrap-up. So this has been BookMouse. Thanks for joining me at Mouse's house and just kind of getting a feel for what I've been reading. We look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful day. Hey bookworms, why don't you check out our BookNook's TBR for the rest of 2019. We have the link posted right over here. And check out what BookKitty's been doing in Kitty's Corner right over here. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you know whenever something new is posted.